Hello YouTube, this is Rudy Davis from Dallas again. I've made a list of just some miscellaneous things. If nothing else, I just want to record what's on my mind on April the 4th of 2009, so that in a month from now, it's just what I do. Everybody has their own style, and I'm the guy who makes lists. So I'm going to go through my list as fast as I can. I'm going to try to get it in as few videos as I can, and I'll try to add edit tabs. And if you got any comments on any of these items, please feel free to share your thoughts. These are just miscellaneous things that are going on in my mind and things that I think are important in the news. Okay, number one, I follow an economist named Jim Sinclair. His specialty is precious metals, but he's called the rise in the gold price from like 2002 up until now just perfectly. The guy has an amazing track record when it comes to predicting what's going on in the economy, and I have a lot of trust in him. And he has some comments regarding hyperinflation that I wanted to share. So again, this is number one, comments from Jim Sinclair. All hyperinflations are currency events, not economic events. All hyperinflations have occurred in what can be called deep deflationary depressions. Quantitative easing, which is the wanton printing of money, has been the key to all hyperinflations in history. There are no exceptions. So I saw another YouTube video that says all roads lead to hyperinflation, and I believe that. I think we are headed towards a hyperinflation situation because the wanton printing of money by our government. And I think Jim Sinclair is calling it right again. And you have to understand that as the value of the dollar goes down, which is what happens in a hyperinflation situation, the value of gold and silver will go up because they have an inverse relationship. So I'm not making any investment advice. I'm just saying that's typically the way that it works out. Number two, okay, I saw this video, and some of you are going to say I'm making a big deal about nothing, there's a video of Obama doing a bended knee, deep-waisted bow to the Saudi king. And some of you will argue that a bow is a sign of respect, and what's the big deal? And I don't know, it just strikes me as tremendously wrong for the President of the United States to be bowing to a king. I don't care what country he's from. I don't know what to say about that. When I saw the video, I was disgusted, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but when our president bows to a king, and the king didn't return the gesture, so it just shows him doing a deep bended bow to a king. It's like, what the hell is going on? I don't know. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I just wanted to bring it up as item number two. Number three, we're headed towards the one world currency, the writing's on the wall. If you can't see that, they're calling it SDR, special drawing rights. Russia was the first to call for gold to be a part of the SDR, and China is also calling for a one world currency. Even Timothy Geithner said he was open to the idea, but he's a new guy, right? So they had to bring him over to the side, and after he said he was open to the idea, they had to tell him, hey, don't say that out in public, that's going to scare the heck out of the people that have dollars. So he had to retract his statement, but nonetheless, he did say he was open to the idea before they took him over to the side and said he can't say that out in public. So number three was the one world currency. We're moving to that. Again, that's writings on the wall for that, for anybody to see. Number four, HR 1207. So I made a whole video on what I think about the Federal Reserve and the effort by Ron Paul and others to audit the Federal Reserve. I got to read you this paragraph from the Creature from Jekyll Island, and I think it will open your eyes up even more so to why auditing the Federal Reserve it actually can be counterproductive. I'm going to read it as fast as I can, and I think it's worth your time to listen to. Every year, a few concerned congressmen submit a bill to investigate or audit the Federal Reserve System. They are to be commended for their effort, but the process has been an exercise in futility. Their bills receive little or no publicity and never get out of committee for a vote. Even if they did receive serious attention, however, they could actually be counterproductive. On the surface, it would appear that there is nothing wrong with a congressional investigation or an audit. But what is there to investigate? We must assume the Fed is doing exactly what it says and is in total compliance with the law. A few minor improprieties probably would be discovered involving personal abuse of funds or insider profiteering. but that would be minor compared to the gigantic fraud that is already in the open for all to see. The Federal Reserve is the world's largest and most successful scam. Anyone who understands the nature of money can see that without a team of investigators and auditors. The danger in a proposal to audit the Fed is that it would delay serious action for years while Congress is doing something. It would also give the monetary technicians an opportunity to lay down a smokescreen of verbiage and confusing statistics. The public would expect that all answers will be forthcoming from the investigation, but the very groups and combines that need to be investigated would be conducting, or at the very least confounding, the investigation. By the time 14 volumes of testimony, charts, tables, and exhibits finally appear, the public would be intimidated and fatigued. We do not need a bill to audit the Fed, we need to abolish it. You see what's going to happen with this audit the Fed thing? They're going to legitimize the Fed in the eyes of the sheeple, ignorant public. Me and you and most of the people in the Patriot movement know how evil the Fed is. But if you audit it and you say you found a few minor abuses and you fired a few people, then the sheeple will think, oh, that's great that you cleaned up the Fed. They don't understand that you need to audit the Fed. I mean, you need to abolish the Fed, not audit the Fed. Let me move on because I got a lot of things to cover. Let's not forget to put in my list H.R. 1388. It's incredibly ironic that Barack Obama is instituting the first mandatory volunteer act, which could be phrased another word of slavery. I think that's incredibly ironic. I'm totally against H.R. 1388. It's called the GIVE Act. If you don't know what that is, you need to go check it out. And let me just say real quickly too that a lot of you people in the Patriot movement probably have close family members that are completely awake and are very prepared. That's not the case with me. I mean, I'm not playing my fiddle, but I'm just saying that most of the people I interact with and my close family and friends at work, and I'm lucky enough to still have a job, they're completely not awake. And I'll go to lunch with some people at my work and they'll say things like, the worst is behind us. I heard on, Fox News or MSNBC or CNN, they're saying the worst is behind us. I don't know what, it's hard to have a conversation and restrain myself. And you know how I can get out of hand at times on my videos. And, I sometimes want to just stand on top of the table in the restaurant and just scream and holler to the top of my lungs. But most people, for people that are in the Patriot movement, you may have lost sight of this. Most people are not awake. I mean, most people don't have a freaking clue on what's coming down the pipe. So it's saddening. But anyway, number 6, Gordon Brown openly talks about the New World Order, makes it sound like it's actually a good thing. So I've been called a lunatic by a lot of people for even thinking or even promoting the fact that the New World Order actually exists. Now Gordon Brown comes out and talks about it in the open, makes it sound like a good thing, and so all these people that I was trying to convince are now saying, oh, well, now I know what the New World Order is. What you worried about? It's just the people of the governments of the world getting together to fix our financial problems. Oh my goodness. I guess if they can't hide it, they can't hide it anymore. They'll just come out and make it a public announcement and make it sound like it's a good thing. Like who could have guessed that would have happened? Number 7, I guess you saw the YouTube video where the Ron Paul supporter was detained at the airport for having over $4,000 cash and having Ron Paul bumper stickers and Ron Paul paraphernalia, made out to be like a domestic threat, and they threatened to take him to the DEA and the FBI, and they were going to detain him and put him through questioning. Man, that's just sickening when I hear that stuff's going on like that in our airports. And he didn't do anything wrong. The only thing he did wrong was have over $4,000 cash and some Ron Paul paraphernalia. I don't have my timer with me today. I'm just going to clip it on my new software that I got.